to tell you this. Shut the fuck up and let your sniper read.
Yes, let's go.
Thank you. Uh-oh, the Grand Wizard rapped, but it was too late. Fuck you in hell, chanted Ridley, and stuck his suit's robotail in Kraid's face. It was a lot of blood, but at least the score was settled. The war was ready to wrap up. Boo there was one last issue. Imposter President! Samus and her remaining allies were finally able to break into his office fortress, but where was he? Going somewhere? There was a voice, and they turned around down the hall, zoomed a race car that was armed like the Batman car in The Dark Knight. Captain Falcon said, and condoled. Oh, Samus and condoled, but there was little use. Samus tried her powerful missiles at the car, but they just bounced off the hood and blew the doors off classrooms, exposing the children, who were apparently still in the classrooms. Ridley used his mecha suit powers to try to stop the car, but Captain was too fast with his driving and dodged. His turn. Let's see who spelled WHOSC, the real president now. Bitch! Captain Falcon bellowed the car intercom and used his presidential codes to arm the rocket tube with a mini nuke. When it fired, everyone was sure that this was the end of Samus, but just in time her boyfriend jumped in front of the missile and took the blast himself. Luckily, his suit was radiation resistant. Unfortunately, well, correctly this time, the nuke blast damaged it beyond repair. Ridley was down, and so was Samus. Ha ha ha, my ride is indestructible, Falcon and Stanton. There isn't a single weapon on Earth that can defeat my juggernaut. That's what we're here for, a sudden voice blasted through the roof, and when the dust cleared, there were 4 figures. It was Shasso Kais, Ethereal, Kroot, and Tail Deer from Dark Crusade High School. This part was written when Cervantes and I were still internet dating. It's long gone. But why waste a story? I told you guys the reinforcements were on the way. The game dude and Trace revealed over the intercom, and Samus and Ridley were relieved. Relieved spelled R-E-L-E-A-V-E-D, but not Captain Falcon. Time to seal the deal. Kroot landoed, and while he and Ethereal distracted the Falcon car by racing it through the hall at top gear, Teal'Deer and Shash did a power combine for one final blow. When the car rounded the last corner, it unleashed, totaling the jugger car and ending the driver. There were still last words, however. I may be dead, but you still lose. You still got the cholera. Your dead is mine. Yeah, whatever. The dead president gurgled as Samus only she could hear him. Yeah. The war was over, but the girl knew he was right. It was only a matter of time. Few people can survive in war, but those who do it's worth it to save lives. This is what Samus was explaining to the survivors of Metroid High School. There were probably only like 2 now. All her remaining friends were there, and so were her mom, Mrs. Chozo, and the dogs, Sparky. Samus was giving her speech, but she felt died though. Dark Samus and the cholera were finally taking over her body. When she collapsed on the floor, people began to crowd around and say, "Please, is there a way?" Ridley cried out to the gods. There is, confirmed Dr. Banis, who drove up to the podium in a sport car and revealing a hypodermic needle of ceremony. You found a cure! Everyone cheered. Dr. Banis turned to her patients. I may not agree with your sex, but I won't see a patient suffer, even the Sid.
What?
Wow.
I don't agree with your sex!
The doctor Hippocrates and injected the liquid into Samus' body. The cholera syndromes began to fade away, but the Dark was not ready to give up without a fight. Arka! Samus coughed blood, and a white began to flash. As Samus convulsed, Dark Samus began to materialize outside of her body. Ha 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 ha. Dark Samus satanically echoed, "Thanks to your cure, I'm finally free." Dark Samus started running around and taking down students and teachers and eating their souls to gain power. Now that she was cured, Samus was at full power and did her best to fight Dark Samus before it inflicted too many casualties. Unfortunately, Dark Samus was already far too powerful, and all that Samus could do was knock the helmet off its body to reveal its identity. No one could have expected the truth. Coach Houston, you're Dark Samus?
Well,
just materialized out of the body. The entire school.
You're telling me.
Houston only smiled.
You're telling
No,
me.
Faz, we're not telling you. Continue.
Go away, Faz.
I admit,
Shut up, Faz.
I couldn't have Ridley and Samus be dating because she needs to be a team player and boyfriends take time. Fusa explained from experience. There is nothing more important than sports, and you can't stop me. Man, this is tearing up my throat from the inside. Not exactly. At that moment, the door was open. There was the sound of a gunshot. At the door was President Gerald Ford. Finally spelled it right. If you
What?
still president when Metroid High School took place, with a sniping pistol in his hand and 50 Secret Service agents who took control of the situation.
Whoa.
Huston was shocked his idol had just shot him in the face. But you played football. Why? Houston was confounded in the final moments of his life, but Ford explained. Everyone, sports can be fun to play and are good for bodies, but sometimes people take it too far. It's not worth it to make biological terror or start wars, but as long as you keep it clean, keep it real. The real president finished his speech, and with that, he returned to the White House, leaving Ridley and Samus alone. Everything was just about sorted about. There was still one last thing that was troubling Ridley's mind. Samus could tell because they had been going out for a time, and she inquisited Ridley, what's the issue? Well, it's only 3 more days until the big prom, and I know we're not together anymore. Ridley shuffled uncomfortably, but Samus was warm with a kiss. Ridley, I can't stay mad at you. You know the love when you feel it, and they kissed in front of the entire remaining school. Probably one person now. Everyone cheered, including Principal Yokoi. I'm sorry, Prinnick Pal, Yokoi, Shaz, Tio1, Amy, Mrs. Chozo, and even Cervantes cracked a grin. Damn, thought Ridley for the final time. I'm the luckiest guy in the universe. Epilogue, 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 epilogue.
Epilogue. The final epilogue was spelled incorrectly, by the way.
Epilogue.
Epilogue.
Yeah.
Epilogue.
Yeah. Samus and Ridley went to prom together as a couple, but Samus' ex-boyfriend didn't do so bad at all. Cervantes went with 111 Samus Ridley Forever 2006 because they were both angsty and thought cool, and Amy went with Adam, not just because of their shared letters, but they had other commons. In George Bush's last minute in office,
Oh my god.
all aliens, so TO1 had to go back to Mexico in the middle of the night. Yeah, okay. I thought
Oh my fuck.
Too bad for Bush. He ran for president of Mexico and won. Okay, so now he's president of USA and Mexico? Well, they were going to be one country eventually, right?
Yeah.
My dad told me that Mexico will probably be more powerful than the United States in a few years, so that's not so bad.
Oh god.
Mexico. Oh
Sorry.
no.
I know.
Can I just point something out right now?
Yes.
In an earlier sentence, the author writes, that when all this is happening, Gerald Ford was president. Now we're forwarding to prom night, and now Bush is president?
Yeah, apparently over the span of 3 days,
Okay.
George Bush.
And also, here's the other thing. They already had the prom in the first fucking chapter.
Yep.
And prom's tomorrow.
And another thing, why the fuck have we not talked about the whole gym teacher thing? So, oh
Because
my
we're like
God.
3 sentences away from the end.
Yeah, we want this
Okay.
bitch done.
Keep going, and then we'll get in the long 10-minute long discussion on that stupidity.
Yeah,
Sure.
that'll be another video though.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna finish this up, and then you guys can talk as much as you want.
Okay.
All right. Principal Yokoi decided to retire after the events, but then he learned how to make video games for Nintendo and made the game Metroid based on everything that had happened at Metroid High School. As for Samus and Ridley, they decided to stick together and see what happened. They decided to postpone the pregnancy. Yeah, you can just postpone a pregnancy, of course, until after marriage, because even though Juno is a movie, teens don't always make parents in real life. And the next time they had sex, Samus remembered to have her own pregnancy test. This kid has no fucking idea how sex and pregnancy.
Duckbro brain melts. Duckbro brain no work. Brain.
John Madden. John Madden. John Madden. John Madden. John Madden. John Madden.
Question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point.
Hey,
Hey you.
Hey you.
Hey
Hey
you.
you.
Hey you.
Football.
Okay. Yes.
John Madden.
But let's start with that whole freaking football coach is Dark Samus thing. This means that, okay, now if we go by the fanfics logic, Dark Samus is something that happens when you're fucking pissed off.
No,
So
Dark Samus was created from the cholera.
Yep.
That STD that was originally just some random disease.
Yep.
Okay, but okay, that was logic. I misinterpreted it.
Yeah. So
but
basically, this is a case of Scooby-Doo.
If you catch cholera, there's a grown-ass man who usually is a gym teacher will be sitting inside of you wearing a battle suit.
Yes. Oh God!
And
No!
Is an
Ouch!
STD.
Not inside! Ah!
I think what happened was something along the lines of Scooby-Doo. Where you have like the actual legend, and then you have the guy in a fake mask and a suit running around pretending to be what the legend is based on.
Here's the scary part though, Tekka. He came out of her. He came out of her.
It was special effects. It was CGI. He paid for it with all the Republican money.
Here's the other thing, though. Here's the other thing.
Oh God.
That Ridley had the same problem, and if he's an STD, then I don't care if fucking Samus 1-1 fucking Doopadoo, whatever her goddamn name is. I don't care if she had cholera too. I am assuming that Ridley had sex with the coach.
Who really wants to discuss this?
You know what just went through my head?
What?
What just went through my head was an image of Samus giving birth to Dark Samus, and midway through the birth, they rip off the helmet to reveal a fat, ugly coach.
They reveal John Madden, only darker.
By the way, I love how she just had to scream, epilogue, 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 like a freaking crack addict, yay!
Seriously, like a simple line break is not suffice.
Brain no work.
It's epilogue, 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 epilogue.
Alright, everyone. Join us next time for Metroid College, Emperor Falcon's New Groove.
Hey, that's my fucking show.